Bible tells us in Matthew 22, verse 14, it says, for many are called, but few are chosen. Okay? Many are called, but few are chosen. But until you are chosen, you cannot be equipped. Until you are chosen, you cannot be used. You have to be chosen to be used. But the criteria to be chosen is defined by God. And the only way you know that you are chosen by God is when you have these passions and the fire is burning inside you with the desire to know more, to seek more, to know more. These are the chosen ones. You understand? Okay. But now, look at what this is telling me. Matthew 24, now 22 to 25 is telling us. He said what? In fact, unless that time of calamity is shortened, that means there is a time of calamity is coming and is very soon. Okay? Not a single person will survive. Okay? But it will be shortened for the sake of God's chosen ones. Amen? But now, what I want you to know is that when you are chosen, it doesn't mean you are fully redeemed yet. Okay? Until you are transfigured, you are not fully redeemed. Amen? So, it will not be fair that God will see people at that time who have the fire burning in their hearts, want God, want nothing if it's not God. But see, God will let them perish, suffering calamity. That's why he had to shorten those times. You understand? So, some people are thinking chosen one are the target. No, it's the beginning. Amen? 23. Then if anyone tell you, look, there is the Messiah, or there he is, don't believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will rise up and perform great signs and wonders as so to deceive, if possible, even God's chosen one. But the chosen one listen to the voice of God. They recognize the voice of God. Amen? Because today there are stuff on the internet. When you look at it or you hear it, they are so logic to the point that if you have never had an experience with God, you never see an angel before yourself, you never been to heaven yourself, you never see God yourself once, when you look at those, you listen to those logic, you will be deceived. You will conclude that God do not exist. Amen? But now what he said, false messiahs, that means what? False gurus that will rise up. Say, through their ways you can reach heaven. So any religions that confess that is not for Christ, you can reach heaven. That religion, the person who raised it is a false messiah. Christ was a messiah, he was a prophet. So he's a false prophet and a false messiah. Only through Christ we can reach heaven. Hallelujah. So he said, see, I have warned you about this time ahead. Amen? But now let's go to Revelation, what he says about that and what he says. Revelation 3, verse 7 to 10. He said, this is the message from the one who is holy and true. The one who has the key of David. What he opens, no one can close. And what he closes, no one can open. I know all the things you do. And I have opened a door for you that no one can close. You have little strength, yet you obey my word and did not deny me. Very, very important. These are people God is preparing for that time to come. You have little resources. Amen? Resources you need in order to overcome, you have little of them. Why? Because God wants to train you to be an overcomer out of discomfort. Because if you always have what you need, amen? And you always overcome while having what you need, when those times come, you say, God, sorry, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this. And you compromise. Hallelujah? But if He puts you in a condition when you have little, but still the inner strength, little that you have, you are determined not to deny Him and to overcome, regardless of the attacks or anything the enemy is throwing at you. Hallelujah. When those time comes, God can show Himself. Then the devil can never come again and tell him, as he said in the time of Job, when he asked the devil, have you seen my faithful one? He says, because you have given him, you have blessed him, you have given him all those things, you put all the conditions, you put around him everything he needs. God said, if that's the case, go and take everything out from him. Still, Job remained faithful. So God is doing the same thing, but in the reverse way. So if you can see your encounters, you can see what God is promising you, you can see everything God wants to do with you, and you see them, but you see that it's great, but your resources are limited. It's like everything you will try, it won't work, but you are the best friend of God. Know that God is preparing you for that time to come. That's why I say in verse 9, look, I will force those who belong to Satan's synagogue, those liars who say that they are Christians but are not, who say they are people of God but they are not, who say they know the same God but they are not, who says they know the way to heaven but they are not, to come to bow down at your feet. They will acknowledge that you are the one I love, because you have obeyed my command to persevere. I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world. Hallelujah. So my little message for you is to tell you that if you look at your life, you talk to God about others, things happen. You talk to God about situation, things happen. But when you come to yourself, nothing happens. It's because He has chosen you for that great time to come. And you have to be raised out of difficulties, because you are going to fight, to be used, to perform, to run in difficult, to overcome in difficult time. Hallelujah. So, brothers and sisters, just to encourage you this afternoon, to tell you that, as He says in Hebrew 13:5, I will never forsake you. That is true. He will never forsake you. But according to your calling, He has to put you in the situation you are in. But if you trust Him enough and you persevere, you will see that you have run the right course. You will see how faithful He is. Amen? So I just want to tell you that, remember, as I said, for the pregnant woman, you are impregnated to bring out something great. Hallelujah. To bring out something great. Because of that, don't give up and pray for others. Pray and care for humanity. Care for the earth. Grow the mentality of Christ. And at the end of the day, your happiness will be full. Amen. God bless you. Thank you. Now we need to pray. Let's get ready for prayer now. Thank you.